The Torchbearers Crew knew the endgame was approaching. They just stopped Machina Orm from rewriting time, and as a reward, had been told the entire story of Prometheus by Perry. The apocalypse sat on the horizon, but first, there was someone they had to kill. The Depths Queen. Odette. Dot. The monster behind Mortimer, Gamble, and Ravage. The villain who had taken Ripley and turned her into a weapon without free will. The young girl who made a mistake and was punished by the gods. The party sailed after Orm towards the Depths Queen's lair. They asked him about the marks on their arms. He explained that, in the early years after the flood, the queen was more benevolent. She'd chosen 7 loyal knights and given them brands, magic that would keep them alive and help them fight against worshippers of Prometheus. But, eventually, the knights were killed by pirates. Fortunately, the pirates were willing to carry out the queen's monstrous commands for a price. Orm explained that he was the only one of the original knights who hadn't died in the centuries since the flood, the only one who gave up and became a pirate lord. Orm led the party to Skull Cove. He sailed ahead, saying he'd meet the party at the lair. The party walked into Mortimer's quarters, the place where they watched Ripley disappear. The swirling portal opened as the moonlight shined down on it. The party cast spells to keep them from drowning and jumped in. They sank through the dark water until they reached the bottom, where a palace sat. The same palace they'd seen only days earlier from their perspective, and a few centuries earlier from the world's perspective. And, sitting in the sand in front of the palace, was a very expensive knife. Damn, that joke would have hit hard if Kit was still in the party. A pale pirate with a mustache walked out of the palace to greet the party. "Oh, what's this? Those accursed adventurers who have killed so many of our order? No doubt here to attack the great Depths Queen? Gasp! How terrible! If only there were a pirate here capable of defeating you. Perhaps a glorious thespian pirate by the name of Spyro Crane!" Crane's head and limbs twisted as he transformed into a pile of sludge. He stretched out and attempted to consume the party. Sean jumped back and drew his sword. As he did, he heard the sounds of footsteps growing closer. "Mine, mine, 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 mine!" a tabaxi pirate screamed as she charged for Sean. He barely managed to block her blade with Mother's touch. "Wait!" Iroh shouted. "We aren't here to fight." "We aren't? We're here to talk. We know about Prometheus. We know he wants to destroy the world. And we want to stop him. That's what you want too, right?" "What are you doing?" "I'm trying to end things peacefully. There's been too much death already." "Fine. But when this doesn't work, I'm going to kill Odette." "A truce? Such a captivating idea. Very well. Let us see what Her Majesty has to say. Jaguar, leave the kitten alone." "But, sword, you can take it from him later." The tabaxi pirate cursed and sheathed her blade. "That sword is mine," she whispered. "When we kill you, I will take it from your corpse." "Cool! That sounds fun!" Crane led the party to the throne room, where the Depths Queen waited. Lady Umbra floated next to the Depths Queen, unconscious. "It is very bold of you to walk so carelessly into my den." "Just want to talk, Dot." The Depths Queen stared at Iroh. "It has been so long," she whispered. "I had almost forgotten your face. Iroh, you saved me." "Yes." "And now you have come to kill me." "Maybe. Depends on how this goes." Ren drew his longsword and pointed it at the Depths Queen. "Let Ripley go," he said. "No. She is a piece of leverage. If I am pushed, I will command her to take her own life." "Fuck you. Stay calm. We know about Prometheus. We know you set him free. We know he destroyed the world. We know the gods commanded you to hold him back. But still, that doesn't justify any of this. You've killed so many people. I have done what was necessary. I tried a kind hand at first, but that didn't work. Mortals hate this world. They hate the endless seas and crushing waves. Again and again, mortals have attempted to destroy the seas by unleashing Prometheus. 60 years ago, druids at Cinder Tower used dark magic to create Crossroads Tower, an accursed device designed to set Prometheus free. They ordered Buckland to annihilate them to keep the world safe. And now, the Rubicon Navy has partnered with the Cult of Flames, a group of madmen who want the world to burn. They have, with your help, broken all but 3 of the locks on Prometheus. This is what happens when mortals are allowed to band together, to rebuild what was lost. They always want more. They always meddle in things they don't understand. They always get swayed by the whispers of a devil. And now, once again, I am forced to trim the branches of the tree that is society to keep its rot from spreading. You're planning to destroy the Rubicon territory. Yes, all of it. All of the thousands of innocent people. Half of the towers in the IRC. It is that or the entire world. No, there has to be another way. There is none. We'll find a way. I don't know how, but we can end this without mass killing. Please, just let us try. We want the same thing. We all want to stop Prometheus. Please, you were a good person once. You were kind, and I know that kindness still exists within you. Just give us a chance. One chance. That's all we need. And at that point, I asked the -1 charisma wildfire druid to make a persuasion check. And he rolled a nat 20. And like nat 20s do not mean automatic success, but he was making good arguments, and the Depths Queen still remembered him saving her as a child, so something I never expected happened. Fine, I will hold back, for now. The people in the towers will be spared. You have my word. Good. I'm glad that worked. But this deal rests on you destroying the Cult of Flames. That part of the deal is non-negotiable. We'll figure something out. I'm glad we were able to come to an agreement. Hold on. There's one more thing we need. Let Lady Umbra go. Very well. She will be a useful tool during your war against the Cult of Flames. But I will keep her memories sealed until your mission is complete. The Depths Queen waved her hand and Ripley woke up. She smiled, swam over, and hugged Pace. Ren frowned. The Queen ordered Crane to assist the party, and he bowed and walked over to them. As the party began to leave, a series of explosions struck the castle, opening a hole in its ceiling. The party looked up to see a submarine, piloted by Orem, heading towards them. Once the sub was above the castle, it transformed into a robot and dropped down in front of the party. Hey guys, I'm here to help you fight the Depths Queen, Orem said. Actually, we don't need your help because we're friends with the Depths Queen now. Orem stared at the party, stunned. Then, he calmly pressed the button, firing a barrage of missiles at the party. As I set up tokens for a very challenging boss fight, one of my players laughed and said no. Sean Stryker cast the spell Suggestion, which forces the target to do what you say as long as it isn't harmful. Sean told Orem to do nothing. Orem did nothing. Hey, did you know that Suggestion lasts for 8 hours? The party had more than enough time to climb up the side of the robot, break open the cockpit, take away Orem's guns, and tie him up. This isn't over. Yeah, it is, Eris said as he cast Water Walk. Orem rocketed out of the ocean, hopefully to never be seen again.
They'll see me next episode.
The party walked away from their fight with the Depths Queen, having not fought the Depths Queen, but instead having gained 1 giant robot mech suit and 1 Ripley Madarasi. I quickly realized that giving the party a giant robot mech suit was a bad idea that would break the campaign, so I hastily decided that, Orem programmed it to only be usable by him. Yeah, he did that. And also, the robot dragon is gone when you get back to the boat because Orem could control it remotely. Yeah. Am I a mean DM for doing that? Yes. Do I regret scamming my players out of a weapon that was strong enough to fight the BBEG to a standstill? No! The party, however, was crafty. Sean suggested they take the mech suit to Doofenshmirtz because he was a scientist and thus could reprogram it. Ah, shit. Why am I constantly surprised when my players are smarter than me? The party decided to split up. Iroh, Ripley, and Sean were to use the party's boat to transport the mech to Tesla, while Ren, Armic, and Pace used the portal network to track down their torch thief. Hey, I'm gonna ask Doof to make me some magic items while I'm in Tesla. Anyone else want anything? Oh, can I have a flamethrower and a jetpack and a helmet that has cat ears on it? Wow, that's super racist. What? Oh, I didn't think that... Have fun in Tesla. Before the party split, Pace and Ripley spent an hour standing on the edge of the ship, talking about how they loved each other. Ren watched from a distance. Feeling lonely, Captain? Crane said, stepping out of the shadows. Fuck off. Are you really sad that your sister has found something as beautiful as true love? She doesn't remember me. She feels nothing when she sees me. Yes, Solanum's work was extensive. Ren glared at him. One of the other pirate lords. She specializes in humanoid transmutation. She placed a seal on your sister's mind, which blocks her memories and allows the Depths Queen to order her around. Quite ingenious, if a bit debased. Where can I find Solanum? Last I checked, she was heading for the Devil's Throat, a volcanic prison in the Rubicon territory. The Queen tasked her with building an army, something she is more than capable of doing. I'll have to pay her a visit once we've saved the world. Iroh's team dropped the mech off at Doof's place. Before leaving, Sean asked Doof to make him a Mega Man Star Force Buster arm that fired Eldritch Blasts. I sighed and said, sure, that is a thing I will allow you to buy, because this is one of the last sessions, and you have broken me with your bullshit. As Sean walked out with his robot arm and Pace's jetpack, he turned to see the party's normal magic item salesman, Old Man McGucket, standing there crying because the party had cheated on him. Sean decided to set him up with Doofenshmirtz to mend his broken heart. This was once a serious campaign that featured moral ambiguity and tough choices. Ren's team stopped by Crossroads Tower and discovered that one more tower had been lit while they were dealing with the Depths Queen. Kermis Tower, the stronghold of the Cult of Flames. The group warped to Kermis and found a town decorated like a circus, filled with massive propaganda posters of Guy Fieri and hundreds of people dressed in cult robes. The cultists recognized them and led them to a military meeting between Marcus Valentine, Guy Fieri, and Vice Admiral Dick. Fieri explained that their alliance was so close to completing the portal network and putting an end to the pirate menace. However, the two remaining towers would be difficult to light. The medallion for Prosper had disappeared when it was raided by Mortimer. Ren vaguely remembered Kit grabbing the medallion months earlier, but wisely kept this tidbit to himself. The other unlit tower, Alcazar, had once been part of the Rubicon territory. Unfortunately, it had been taken over by an elderly separatist named Gale, who transformed it into an impenetrable fortress. Admiral Dick had a plan. He explained he planned to have the entire Rubicon armada sail directly for Alcazar and break into the tower through overwhelming force. Fiery laughed and offered the full support of his church. He turned to the party and asked if they wanted to participate in the attack. We'll be there, Ren said through gritted teeth. What are we gonna do? Armic asked as they stepped out of the meeting. I don't know. Well, if you wouldn't mind me jutting in, I have a suggestion. All of our enemies will be in one place at one time over the open ocean. The Depths Queen can create storms. Powerful ones. Strong enough to sink a few ships. Exactly what I was thinking, Captain Madarasi. You're saying we should sink the entire armada? It's the Royal Navy. I'm not going to cry about a few soldiers drowning. Think about it this way, cleric. Your deity has made it very clear that the return of Prometheus is unacceptable. Yeah, but what will it be, Captain? Shall I pass this information on to the Depths Queen? Ren stood there in silent contemplation. Do it, he said quietly. Crane's mouth curled into an evil smile. Glad you've returned to the side of sanity, Madarasi. A few nights later, the armada sailed out, with the party tailing close behind. The seas turned rough as the storm pounded down on the ships. What's going on? Don't worry. Everything's going to be okay. The party heard the sound of screams in the distance. Through flashes of lightning, they saw tentacles tearing apart ships. The party kept sailing in silence past the driftwood left from destroyed boats. When the storm passed, Iroh was furious. I didn't sign up for this. I didn't join because I wanted to kill people. We didn't kill anyone. Bullshit! Every single death tonight, that's on you. I take my eyes off you for 1 second, and you go back to being a damn pirate. God, I thought we were done with this. But no, we're back where we started. Killing people for the Depths Queen. Oh, fuck off. This was your idea. I wanted to kill Odette, but you were the one who wanted to negotiate. You were the one who wanted to talk her down and work with her because she wasn't an asshole when she was 8. This is what working with the Depths Queen is, Iroh. It's bloody. It makes you feel like shit. And you keep going because it's the only choice you have. Wanna know my choice? I quit. I'm done. I should have never left that island. Iroh turned around, cast Windwalk, and flew away. A few hours later, Ren woke up and noticed that the ship had stopped sailing. He yelled at Tullius to put the sail down again. Instead, Tullius backed away from the helm and stood by the edge of the ship. A Royal Navy ship, the only one to survive the storm, sailed up next to the wretched wench. It was fortunate I was able to keep us safe during that storm, Guy Fieri said as he, Dick, and Marcus stepped aboard, followed by a squad of soldiers. Thank you, Tullius, for telling us the location of these pirates. Oh, and thank you for stealing that torch. Traitor! You literally murdered me! Come on, don't make me kill you again. I was starting to like you. Hold on, we're on the same side. We just got lucky. That's why we survived the storm. Unfortunately for you, those lies won't work anymore. High Priest Fiery told me about your consultations with, what was the name he used? The Queen of the Depths? Guy Fieri is an evil cultist who wants to set free an ancient fire god and destroy the world. Come on, think. You were at war with him a few months ago. Are you really going to trust what he has to say? I can't prove that what he said about you working with pirates is real, but I do know one indisputable fact. 3 years ago, a Royal Navy ship called the Charming Mistress experienced a mutiny. The mutineers were defeated, but a few days later, everyone aboard the ship was found dead. No suspect was ever identified. However, mere hours ago, I received word that a break was found in the case. One of the soldiers at Kermis recognized someone who we thought was dead. A sole survivor of that massacre, a mutineer tortured for her crimes, has been hiding under our noses for years. And, by chance, she happens to be a member of your crew. I did what I had to do. What you did was monstrous, just like what you did tonight was, and now you shall pay for your crimes. The party fought against the incursion of cultists, Royal Navy soldiers, and Druid Guy! I remember now. Druid Guy from the second part turned on the party and died during this fight, having done jack shit for more than 30 sessions. Mystery solved. This episode is already a bit long, so I'll skim over the fight. Sean killed Tullius, Armit killed Marcus, Pace killed Dick, the Royal Navy soldiers were defeated by the Madarassis, and, before long, Guy Fieri was the only enemy standing. Although I appreciate the theatrics, this ends now, High Priest. I shall slay you in the name of my queen! Crane transformed into a pile of slime and consumed Fiery. A moment later, he exploded, as Fiery's fire burned him away from the inside out. Fiery stepped towards the party, cracking his neck. I gotta say, I admire the moxie it took to destroy an entire armada. I mean, our Torchbearer survived and is halfway to Alcazar by now, but it almost worked. Really, it was a nice idea. It's almost enough for me to spare you so our little rivalry can continue. But I'm at the precipice of my revenge, and it'd be dumb to let you keep standing in my way. Ren fired an arrow at Fiery. He caught it with his bare hand and snapped it in half. Come on, Rennie boy, you gotta hit me a little harder than that. Here, let me give you a demonstration. Fiery smashed his fist on the ground, creating a burst of fire that consumed the deck. The sail of the wretched wench fell over as flames consumed the boat. Ren coughed and crawled out of the rubble. Pace, Sean, and Ripley all laid unconscious before him. Guy Fieri stared down at Ren. I wonder, have you realized by this point who exactly you're dealing with? You aren't Guy Fieri. That's right, Ren. I haven't been fiery for a long time. Say my name. Prometheus. Ding, ding, ding! We have a winner! Fiery killed himself like a dumbass, but in doing so, he sent me a perfect suit to wear. A new body that I could use to sneak out of my cage. The Valentine set me free, and with each tower that has been lit, my strength has grown. Once the final 2 locks are broken, I will have the strength necessary to pay the gods back for every transgression. We'll stop you. Stop me? Come on, Ren, don't be an idiot. Your role in this story is over. A thrown warhammer hit Prometheus in the back of the head. Prometheus turned to see Armit Coldstone, barely standing and out of spell slots, panting as he stared the dark god down. I am Armic Coldstone, servant of the sea god Astitia. You have hurt my friends, and you have threatened my lord. That's why I have to stop you. What are you gonna do? This. Armic activated his last trump card, Divine Intervention. He called upon the might of Astitia and rolled, knowing he only had a 10% chance at salvation. He pointed his finger at Prometheus and nothing happened. No miracle came. Your god doesn't love you, Prometheus said as he incinerated Armic. The party's last chance came in the form of an enemy. The Depths Queen burst out of the ocean and wrapped her tentacles around Prometheus, attempting to crush him. Hey there, Dot! Been a long time. Silence. I am ending this now. The thing is, you aren't, because A, destroying an entire armada has left you weak, and B, I have this. Prometheus pulled his arm out, revealing a pirate mark, gained when he killed Crane. These marks connect you to your pirates, and now they connect me to you. The Depths Queen screamed as the tentacles wrapped around Prometheus burned away as Prometheus channeled divine fire from the cage through the mark into the Depths Queen's heart. The Depths Queen burned away until little more than bones remained and fell into the ocean. Prometheus laughed as he raised up into the air above the burning boat. He lifted his hand, summoning a massive ball of flames, and slammed it down on the party. When the smoke cleared, all that remained were charred bodies floating in the dark sea.